Matt Gaetz, who I love to listen to him talk, even though he has that eternal punchable face. He really does. Yesterday, he posted on X. He said, "Today I'm filing a motion to vacate against Speaker McCarthy." So he says McCarthy's lied on the things that he agreed to whenever they put him in the role of speakership. House GOP, you remember that? I mean, they 15 rounds of voting. I stayed up and watched it until 2 o'clock in the morning when they put Kevin McCarthy in. I tell you what, this is insane. Now, of course, Kevin McCarthy came back and responded and said, "Bring it on." And then you start seeing the news reports that started popping out last night talking about the majority of Congress, Republicans, GOP in Congress, don't like Matt Gaetz. They want him out, which would take a 2/3 vote. So somebody's going to go at this point in time. I mean, nobody can get along. You always talk about Republicans and Democrats and being another form of the World Wrestling Federation, where they fight each other and then they go to the same steakhouse and drink wine together. And we're seeing this stuff. I mean, the meltdown is happening on the GOP side. So now, of course, they came out and they said the House GOP wants to oust. They want to expel Matt Gaetz. They said no one can stand him. Like, I kind of can get that. I can kind of see that. I mean, he's a guy who doesn't really sit by and just take a lot of stuff. I mean, he's always going after folks. But somebody said no one can stand him at this point, a smart guy without morals. So they're who knows? I mean, I think Matt Gaetz eventually is going to run for governor in Florida. We'll see what happens there. But a lot of people actually think that. But he's under an ethics probe, all of that. And you know what? Let's play clip 16.
I mean, the speaker did not just fail to remediate the breach of the agreement that he made with us in January. He accelerated the instances of breach. Like, after I laid out the breach, he went and violated the 72-hour rule. After I laid out the breach, he violated the $100 million no amendment suspension rule. So he seems to be reverting to the very unfortunate muscle memory of Washington, D.C., that has put our nation atop a $33 trillion debt, that has led to $2 trillion annual deficits in our near future, and the rapid global de-dollarization of the economy. I mean, you look at the BRICS system, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they're moving away from the dollar. And just in August, they added 6 new countries, including G20 economies in the Western Hemisphere and Gulf monarchies. Moreover, you saw U.S. News say that the #1 economic trend of 2023 is de-dollarization globally. This worries me. You all get all worked up that there's going to be some uncomfortable, chaotic moment, that I'll feel pressure from conservatives or Democrats or whomever. I feel the judgment of history. I feel the weight of that. I worry that when the history books are written about this country going down, that my name is going to be on the board of directors here. And if this country's going down, and if we're losing the dollar, I am going down fighting. And I don't care if that means fighting Republicans, Democrats, the uniparty, the leadership, the PACs, the lobbyists. I've had it. I've been here 7 years. We don't have a fucking budget. We haven't had one since the mid-90s. I am through with it. I apologize for using that word, but the only path forward here is to have single subject spending bills that can be reviewed, amended, considered, and I think that is the responsible way that our legislatures all over this country operate, for good reason.
I've been looking around this room trying to see if I can find the lie. I can't find it, Brandon. And
just for the record, I left that F-bomb in there on purpose because that was beautiful.
It was poetic. It really was. Yeah. Because again, if people are like, "Oh, you don't have to," at some point in time, when you look and go, our generation might be the last truly American generation, whatever that means. Like I like America as we have known it. I think is barring a miracle, barring a lot of prayer, a lot of repentance, a lot of really coming back to realizing that we're not the gods, that that we got to bow down to a higher authority to us and really humble ourselves here. Yeah, this is probably it. I mean, this is the last generation. So I think we ought to get a little passionate about what we're seeing, because if America goes down, the whole world goes down. People don't think about that. I walk around Nashville and I watch people. And just last night I was having dinner, just observing people. And Brandon, I'm telling you, man, you guys, you ever just sit out there and just analyze the level of beta that's in your presence? Just the weakness in men that are out there.
I guess coming from LA, I got so just used to it that it didn't, I got numb to it per se.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed it quite a bit, especially in my younger brother's generation. They're so gay. They're just so gay.
So gay.
Yeah. Like
the weakness is ridiculous.
I love my brother, but he does that stupid black nail polish, and I make fun of him every time for it. But their whole generation does it. It's just weird. I don't know.
It's funny you bring that up. I was out and I was watching people. The guy behind the bar there, I always sit at the bar because I'm watching the football game or whatever, or just, wasting time. I'm sitting there by myself. He's got his nails painted black, and I'm like, I get it. Y'all got a weird trend going on. I don't want to be the grumpy old guy, get off my lawn kind of person who says, oh, you guys you're the downfall of. I know that's happened forever, but every generation looks at the generation coming after and been like, you guys y'all are going to be the end of us, you crazy kids. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if something were to happen in this country, bro, we're screwed. Get invaded, hard times fall, the dollar collapses, power grid, anything. And
imagining my generation, my generation going to war is comical.
No.
Comical.
No, can't do it. Can't do it. And I can't because I get winded. I drink way too much to go to war, man. That I'm pretty, Yeah. I don't want to mess this up. But, dude, the weakness is, I was sitting there with our friend Jill Savage, and I looked at her and I said, Jill, from a women's perspective, from a girl's perspective, I said, look around the room and look at the weakness that just oozes off of people. I mean, everybody lives in this false sense of security and comfort that, it's been provided to them by the sacrifices, the tenacity of other people. They haven't done anything, They bitch because they have to get up and go to a job, or they don't get paid enough, minimum wage or something like that. But if somebody said, and I posted it on Facebook yesterday, it's so true that if you learn to carry your own water, you'll also learn to value every drop, because it matters when you're doing it yourself. Having somebody else do something for you is a definite way to failure. And so I'm just looking at this, and I'm reminded of. And I think I told this story last week. I may not have, but the back in the Roman Empire, everybody's thinking about the Roman Empire right now. About the king or the emperor of a kingdom there who was. I need to pull all the facts on this thing, but he basically had all the boys in his kingdom, in his empire, train with the girls, school with the girls. All the guys they were raised like the girls. The reason is he wanted effeminate men. He wanted weak men because he didn't want anybody from the inside of his kingdom throwing him over. He didn't want him to be ousted by any of the men in his country. Well, you know what happens, right? You raise a generation of weak men. Well, then the powers from outside are going to come in, and you can't put up a fight because you've literally raised a generation of girls. But here we are. Here we are. I want you guys, just as an exercise, the next time you're out and about, especially in a city, next time you're out and about, I want you to look at the level of beta, just the weakness, the soy that's oozing out of people around you. That's been done by design. That's why I don't, the last time I was ever on the curvy couch there on Fox and Friends, there in New York City, they had that episode. I was on the episode where the new Vanity Fair had come out, and that new, some sitcom had come out about beta males or whatever, and they flashed the picture up there, and they wanted my opinion on the cover of Vanity Fair where these guys are standing in a line, and they all got their hands in each other's pockets. And after I got done commenting on that, they never had me back on Fox and Friends ever again. So, that's the world we're living in. And somebody's got to call this shit out. So, hey, whatever's going on there in Washington, D.C. between Kevin McCarthy and Matt Gaetz, I like Matt Gaetz or not, the dude's been investigated. He's been cleared by the DOJ, the FEC. They keep spreading stuff about him, everything from being a pedophile to, all these, whatever. But at least he's speaking up. At least he's saying some things. And I got to appreciate the fight that's in the guy. But trust me, the implosion is happening all around us, man, and nobody's coming to save us.